Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, something on the NHS. If something goes wrong with your brain that requires urgent hospital admission, like epilepsy, meningitis, you'd expect to be seen by a neurologist straight away. But in fact, the kind of treatment you get depends entirely on where you live. With a new survey revealing shocking variations across the UK, just 1 in 5 hospitals has access to a neurologist 3 days a week or fewer. Our health and social care correspondent Victoria MacDonald has this exclusive report.
Sitting in the sunshine in the garden of a rehabilitation unit, Lisa Marks and her daughter have just that morning been told Sophie will soon be able to go home. Sophie didn't want her face shown on camera, but she was happy for her mother to talk through what happened to her.
You could tell something was wrong. Her eyes was glazed. It was like her eyes was empty. So first thing I did was take her straight up to A&E, Sandwell Hospital, where it all started.
And what happened?
They put it down to confusion, and then she had her first fit the same night as I took her in, and then she had 2 straight after.
At first, doctors thought she was having a psychotic episode and she was sectioned to the mental health unit.
It was like her mind was going downhill. From that moment on, it was just going down, 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 forgetting things quicker than anything. You could tell her mention one thing 1 minute and it's gone the next.
In fact, what the tests finally revealed was that Sophie, aged just 21, had suffered a rare form of encephalitis, a swelling of the brain caused by her immune system attacking her body. She was rapidly transferred to the neurology team.
I didn't go on for 2 nights, 2 days, just to make sure I was okay, because they didn't know how to cope with her. Pin her down on the bed.
What, you pinned her down? Mm. You're so tiny.
No, I'll sit on her.
You sat on her?
Yeah, just to keep her there.
Sophie's luck, if you can call it that, was to have been brought here to Sandwell Hospital in the West Midlands, where they have an inpatient acute neurology service. Once the team had worked out that it was indeed neurological and not psychiatric, experts were at hand.
The fact that Sophie could be re-reviewed so promptly and have all the additional investigations done is an example of a system working well, that she moved to a specialist ward where she had nurses who were experienced with stroke and neurology care. She had consultant reviews promptly, even registrars and juniors and people who were in a position to know who else to talk to get other investigations done.
This is fundamentally about people's brains and what goes wrong with them. It can be an epileptic seizure, meningitis, a hemorrhage, or conditions like Sophie's requiring urgent hospital admission. Yet Channel 4 News has seen a report by the Association of British Neurologists which reveals a shocking variation in patient access to neurology services. If you're coming to hospital with a suspected neurological problem, in an ideal world, you will be seen by a neurology specialist within 24 hours, and you will continue to be seen by a neurology specialist over the following days. In reality, it is completely luck of the draw that you will end up in a hospital that has those services. The survey of 189 UK hospitals with more than 250 beds and an A&E unit found that 1 in 5 have access to a neurologist only 3 days or fewer a week. The figure is just 1 in 4 for district general hospitals. And 6 hospitals have no acute neurology service at all. Patients are sent to other centres. And while the number of neurologists has improved over the past few years, we are still significantly below the European average.
What we want to come out of this report is a change in the sizable group of patients, up to 10 to 20% of acute medical admissions, who currently no one really measures what happens to them. And there's a very real risk that these patients maybe get misdiagnosed or mismanaged. And what we hope is that this will improve the equity of care across the country.
And indeed, NHS England is currently considering a national strategy for neurology services. At Westheath House, run by the Disabilities Trust, Sophie's progress can, her mother says, be measured in her art.
She did 2 years at Dudley College with art and design. Absolutely brilliant artist. Used to draw everything and everything. But when this first happened, it was like going back to being a baby, drawing pictures. She drew a flower, but it was like a little child would draw a flower.
And while there is still a way to go, the old Sophie, she says, is now re-emerging.
Victoria MacDonald reporting.
I've been